Okay, so same thing here, we have a formula. Let me write it down again. Oops. Oh, right, I have to screenshot this. Okay, here's the formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay. So we're going to use this formula, but remember this formula only works when you have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, so standard form. Okay, so that means you want to make sure your quadratic equation equals 0. Oops. Okay. So in order to make sure our equation equals 0, what I'm going to do is bring these two pieces to the left. So that's what I'm going to do. How do I do that? I'm going to subtract 4x and add 22, just the opposite of the symbols that you see here. So I'm going to subtract 4x and add 22. Because whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. Yeah, that lagged a little bit, but yes, what I did was I subtracted 4x and I added 22 to both sides. Okay. Then let's simplify this. We have 3x squared. 9x minus 4x is 5x. Negative 29 plus 22 is negative 7. And then those get to cancel out and we get 0. Any questions up till here? Alrighty then. So now we can see that our A is 3. Our B is positive 5, positive because it's a plus over here. And our C is negative 7, negative because it was a minus 7. And we're going to use those and we're going to plug it into our quadratic formula. So looking up top, we have a negative B, so negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 5 squared minus 4, 3, negative 7, all over 2 times 3. Okay, it's lagging. Sorry. There we go. So what we did is we plugged everything in. Do you guys have any questions? I know it was lagging. Okay, so let's continue. I'm just going to scoot it over that way so I get a little more space. Okay, so we have a negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus 4 times 3 times negative 7. I don't really want to do that right now. So let me use a calculator. 4 times 3 times negative 7. So that's a minus negative 84. All over 6. Okay, we're going to keep going. Negative 5 plus or minus 25 minus a negative 84. So subtracting a negative is really just adding it. So 25 plus 84, that gives us 109. All over 6. Any questions up till here? Okay. Oops. Just scooting it up a little bit. So we have two answers that we can type in our calculator. We have a negative 5 plus root 109 over 6. And then the other answer that we have is negative 5 minus root 109 over 6. So my phone, I don't really want to type that into my phone because my phone's not a scientific calculator. So I'm going to write this down on a separate piece of paper so we can type it into Delta Math calculator. So give me a moment while I write it somewhere else. Okay, so I'm going to click done. There's a calculator on Delta Math on the top right corner, right next to where you would log out. So right over there. And then you can see it pop up. Or if you have like an actual calculator at your house, that's great. I don't know where mine is. So I'm going to do parentheses -5 plus the square root of 109. Oops. So I'll type it like, wait for it to load, I guess. I'm sorry, I can see that it's lagging on the computer. Okay, so this is the numerator of my fraction, and then I'll say divide it by 6. So you see how that happened? -5 plus root 109 over 6. And then you can see on the very right, it tells me the decimal. And we want to round this to the nearest tenth. So that would be one decimal, like one number after the decimal. So it says 0.9. That's what we're going to type. So I'm going to write that down, 0.9. You guys see how it says 0.9? All the way to the right of where we typed our equation. Okay, now to get the other answer, remember it's plus or minus root 109. So I wonder if I have to recheck the whole thing. No. You can just use the arrow keys to toggle backwards, and then you can delete that plus sign and change it to a minus. All right, I changed it to a minus, so now we're calculating -5 minus root 109 over 6. And as you can see all the way to the right, it says -2.57. We're going to round it, so -2.6. Do you guys have any questions? Okay, then let's type it in. I make 2 boxes. Our first answer was 0.9. The next one was -2.6. And it says we're good. Okay. So I'm going to end this recording.